Hi everyone, hope you're well. We're now looking at the topic of sleep. Sleep is essential for maintaining optimum health, optimum well-being, physical, mental and emotional health. Sleep is very, very important. It's a biological necessity. So sleep is very, very important. Healthy sleep is required for physiological functions, cognitive function, learning, memory, mood, mental health, cardiovascular health, cerebrovascular health, metabolic health. Sleep is essential for good quality of life. And with the current status of the go, go, go method in the world, we're not getting enough sleep, we're not getting enough rest, we're not getting enough timeouts. And I think it's very, very important for people to remember that we do need our sleep, we do need our rest. And it doesn't have to be, mega amounts. It's typically 7 to 9 hours each night is what we look at. And I'm known, to not have enough sleep, and I'm trying as a personal perspective to you all. But I do have my timeouts, and that's something that I regularly prescribe to people is have your timeouts, have a relaxation time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whether it's meditation, etc. And just think about that as part of your daily routine. Another area that we should be thinking about is the neuroendocrine function and regulation of glucose metabolism. So people with not enough sleep tend to have an imbalance of glucose metabolism because you're up, go, go, go all the time. So there's a high level of insulin resistance and glucose dysregulation, a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, for example, and insulin resistance in this case. Lack of sleep has been associated with various different health conditions such as impaired cognition, reduced attention and concentration, foggy mind, impaired memory, impaired executive control functions. You just can't add and do things effectively. Just general performance is affected. Physical, mental and emotional performance is affected with a lack of sleep. Diminished motivation. People with a lack of sleep don't feel like doing anything because their body's too tired. Irritability, lower mood, depression, stress. All these factors are involved with the lack of sleep. Now, as I said, sleep is very, very important. With a lack of sleep, there's also an increased risk of mortality, so an increased risk of death from not having enough sleep. Type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, cardiometabolic effects, of course, cardiometabolic syndrome. And there's also decreased insulin sensitivity. So we've already looked at a number of vitamins and minerals in this series that work with carbohydrate metabolism, energy metabolism, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain. But another area we need to look about is with insulin sensitivity, about getting that energy into our cells and metabolizing it effectively. If your body's too tired, it's not going to do it effectively. And you're going to be wanting to crave the carbs, you're going to be wanting to crave the sugars to actually effectively get that energy pathway up and running. Yet all you need to do is have a bit extra sleep. And you can never catch up on sleep. Just remember that. You cannot catch up on sleep. Older glucose homeostasis and impaired glucose tolerance are also factors involved with lack of sleep. So sleep hygiene is a very, very important factor. So what I normally suggest, what's generally suggested, not just myself, is you have a routine and then you work with that routine. Turn everything off, including your brain, 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed, because that's the time when you need to wind down. Don't watch an action movie before going to bed because that's going to get the body up and running because it's the cortisol, the adrenaline, everything's up and running. So we need to calm down, I suppose. You can have a nice tea, that's good. Make sure the room is dark and slightly cool to allow that calming down effect of the body. No stimulants later on during the day. So it's the sleep hygiene effect is very, very important. Avoid any kind of stimulus. Another thing we could be doing is looking at a wide range of different nutrients. So we looked at magnesium, zinc, tailor making our B vitamins to be taken earlier in the day as a nutritionals. Any kind of stimulants, as I said, have earlier in the day to get you up and running. Now, in regards to a process, meditation is very good. Think about reading a nice book, but nothing too adventurous in the book because, again, it's the activity of the brain. Don't count sheep, as people say, because that just gets activity of the brain going too much. There's 1, there's 2, there's 4, there's 10. The brain starts calculating. Remember, the brain is very, very smart, And sometimes it activates itself because it's wanting to do extra tasks, but then it's limiting your sleep because the brain is too active. We need the brain to sleep in a way for it to restore. And that's where people end up with, memory, foggy brain, these kind of things, because sleep is a major component of restoring that kind of balance of information, putting it away in your filing cabinet or your folders in your brain, and allowing us to sort of remember things. That's why children and teenagers, for example, at school, need good sleep levels, because that's when they're learning the most about different things. Learning a new job, learning anything. Make sure you get adequate sleep. Well, just get adequate sleep to start with. That's something that's very easy for us to do, set aside time. It's not necessarily having a nap, for example, because that could change all different things. Reset the brain is a good thing, but also some people find it hard to go back to sleep later. But having timeouts is a very good way to rest and recuperate. But make sure you have that regular sleep. Patterns are very good. Pick a time to always go to sleep. Pick a time to wake up. Become a routine. Make sure you can think of it that way as a general routine, and that's when we're going to start seeing a lot more health benefits from having sleep. Sleep is a very big issue in the modern society because it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year, go, go, go. We're on 24 hours, but we need that rest, the recuperation, the restoration, the restoring of the system with proper quality sleep.